Hello students, again it is from my side. I just ready to explain the next important concept of leadership in organizing behavior. As you know that I have started unit 2 where I told you last class about leadership. I told you about leader and leadership last class. I told you what is lead. Lead is nothing but the procedure of prompting somebody, pushing somebody, encouraging someone, and the leader is a person who possesses the ability to lead, possesses the ability to encourage or inspire. And leadership as a whole is a procedure, it's a methodology which every manager should possess. It is that methodology to encourage people, to motivate people, to mold the skill, inherent skill of people in order to achieve organizational goal. I told last class, leadership is that procedure or process which enhances the zeal, confidence among people, among subordinates who must ready to follow the leader's footprints. A leadership is that important organizational framework. Leadership is that important process which enhances, promotes the zeal and confidence of the group member, subordinates, executives in order to achieve the organizational goal, in order to achieve the group goal, timely achieving, effectively, efficiently. I don't want to explain much on what I discussed last class. I told meaning, definition, important characteristics and feature. What are the major characteristics I discussed? It must be goal oriented, it must be a continuous process. Leadership must have certain there must be an interpersonal relationship between the leader and the follower or the subordinates. Many others I discussed. But is it really that much of easy to become a leader? What are the prerequisite qualification? What are the prerequisite qualities, traits, skills? Every person must require to possess within him or her in order to become a successful leader, in order to become a successful manager in the organization. So today I will explain leadership, effectiveness, or you can say qualities to become a successful leader. So students, in order to become a successful leader, a frontline leader, every individual must require prerequisite qualities and traits, essential qualities and traits, so that he could be easily identified from the crowd. He could distinguish himself from other people in the group. He can distinguish himself or herself in the organization. He must have that specialized qualities in order to separate himself or herself from others. So today I will explain 8 to 10 important qualities to become a successful leader. It is most important part every person, every student require to enhance those qualities within you so that you become a successful leader. Without this quality, it is highly difficult for you to sustain in the organization, to establish yourself in a good position. You can't predict, you cannot foresee your future without this particular quality. So in order to change the behavior of people, in order to change the mentality of the people, inspiring people, our personality must be a pleasant one. So what I can say, first, pleasant personality. Pleasant personality. So every leader must step up, must constitute a very good personality of himself or herself. It is highly. So very good personality means a charming and pleasing personality, which can easily draw the attention of people who is around him or her. A pleasing personality, a charismatic personality. Not necessarily every time to become a pleasing personality. Sometimes a leader or a manager must require to become an authoritative one. His personality is a multi-dimensional personality, authoritative personality, so that he can easily influence others. He can easily, drive the force, subordinates towards a certain goal and objective. So first important quality to become a successful leader is a pleasant personality. Every leader must have strong, unbiased, pleasant, charismatic and charming personality, which make his character, his appearance, physical and his role distinguished from others. That is what I just want to say. Next it is knowledge and intelligence. Knowledge and intelligence. You must understand what is IQ, intelligence quotient. Every leader must have that IQ, intelligent quotient. Why? Because leader is a person who is required to take necessary decisions in the day-to-day business life. So every leader must require to evaluate the pros and cons of every condition, every situation, the pros and cons, the positive and negative part every time. He must have that capability, you can say analytical skill and capability, analyzing the pros and cons, the positive and negative things, so that he can reach to a specified, you can say, decision, a perfect decision. So that intelligence and evaluating different alternatives, available alternatives, has to be properly understood and properly evaluated. So that evaluating skill, that what I just told, that intelligence is highly required to choose the best alternative from the available ones. So what I can say, I just like to say that intelligence it's highly important for every leader to solve the day-to-day business problems. Every state business faces problem. In order to solve this business problem, those analytical skill is highly important, and intelligence make the person to become a good decision maker. So you must be, if you want to become a successful leader in your life, you must have that decisiveness within you, that interpersonal analytical skill within you to choose the right decision. Next, it is knowledge. Every individual, every leader must possess the sufficient and adequate knowledge, skill and competence. Knowledge of what? Knowledge does not mean that about a subject knowledge. Knowledge is overall knowledge. It may be technical knowledge, it may be human knowledge, it may be the knowledge, interpersonal knowledge, it may be anything. Understand? So every individual must have adequate knowledge, because wherever any problem occurs in the level of subordinates, they require to solve this from his leader, from his supervisor. So that supervisor, leader or manager must have that much of knowledge and competence level within him or her, so that he can guide, suggest, instruct perfectly and solve the queries and problems. So what I can say, that a leader must have enough and sufficient knowledge, must possess good sort of intelligent quotient or IQ level, so that he can analyze the condition well and take the right decision. Analytical skill. So next it is third point is strong willpower. Ichha Shakti. What I can say, and you can say self-confidence. Self-confidence. Yeah, that is highly important to make a person success in the life. Self-confidence, believing on yourself, self-belief, believing one's own action, believing on one's own decision, believing on one's self-image. Strong determination is highly important. So every individual, every leader always required to be self-confident. He should not be distract himself or herself from the actual goal, from the actual job, with whenever somebody interfere. He never distract himself. He always try to believe, to confident what he is doing, what she is doing, what actually to be done in a particular condition. That is something what self-believing on one's own action. So he must have that strong belief on his own action, own decision. And next, strong willing power, enthusiastic to learn and enthusiastic to perform. Strong willing power, Ichha Shakti, 100%. If once he decides to do, he tries to complete it in any circumstance, in any condition. It's known as strong willing power, willingness. Every leader always try to achieve the goal, timely achieving the goal without compromising the quality. And once he decides, he try to complete the job at any cost. That is strong willing power and willingness. Next is communication skill. Very, very important. Communication skill. Every leader must be a good communicator. It means every leader must be able to elaborate, explain, describe well what about the procedure, the method, the policies, the program that has been designed by the organization. Those policies, program, methods has to be properly explained. How one can be explained? If that person possesses strong, strong communication skill. So a leader must be a good orator, good explainer. He must have that skill to transfer the knowledge, explain it in a perfect way. That is more one thing. Second, a successful leader should not always explain well. A successful leader must have the listening capability. Every time he never responds, he must have the patience to listen other. And he must be a good counselor too. A leader must be a good counselor too, good persuader too. Persuading from people. He learns from people. He listens to people. And at the same time, a successful leader should always do communicate in the form of guiding them, in the form of counseling people. So he must be a good communicator, right? Correct? So what next? Next is a leader must have the motivational skill. Motivational skill. Who motivates? A leader motivates. So supervisor continuously inspire people, encourage people through his word, through his action, through his image, through his personality. A leader always try to encourage, inspire, you can say stimulate the subordinates to achieve certain goal in the life. So what I can say, a leader, a strong leader must possess the skill of motivating people, inspiring people, so that the subordinates, the people, those who are working under them, are to be actively participate in order to achieve the goal, in order to achieve the task successfully. I think you understand. Again, I am telling you that the motivational skill is quite highly necessary for every leader in order to achieve the organizational group goal efficiently and effectively. So every leader always try to motivate. So for that motivation, what is necessary? Motivation we require to maintain a good sort of interaction with the group leader and team leader, your group members and subordinates. Good interaction, timely, continuously interaction, understanding their problem, understanding their requirement. So what I can say, motivating, inspiring them by helping them, guide them continuously must occur. So a good leader always try to understand the lacunas. Lacunas means negative points first, and try to come up with a proper aid. Aid means help. Proper aid in order to minimize their weaknesses. And this is the way how he encourages. Yes, you can. It's your side. It's your job. You can. It's your capability. Every time he encourages others to become a successful goal or task achiever. Understand? This is important skill. Next, it is foresightness. foresightness, strong foresightness. A person who possesses a strong vision. Vision means who can see the long future, who can predict, who can anticipate the challenges which will coming down towards the organization, towards the job, towards the task during his organizational operation. So a perfect leader possesses that capability to see, to predict, to anticipate what are the future obstacles, what are the future challenges really he wants to face. Beforehand, advancedly, he tried to equip with all necessary preventions in order to solve those challenges, so that he can smoothly avoid the problem, he can smoothly avoid the issues which is all around going during the organizational task. So next, this is what I mean, the foresightness, the future foresightness. What is next? Next is, leader must be a social person. What is social person? What is social person? Yeah. Socially, a leader must have that strong background. It means a person is called social if he must be a very good human being. First, his humanistic part must be very strong. So every leader must be a social one. First of all, he must possess that humanistic approach. You can say a person who possesses the general understanding of general problem of his subordinates. Actually, what problems a person faces during the task which has been offered to them. So it is highly important for a leader to be very frank with people while dealing with them. So understanding people's problem, one can easily understand problem if he is a humanistic one. He must be an optimistic one. Understood? Optimistic one. I just like to add social person and optimistic. Optimistic means a person who always perceives the things positively every time. He always speaks in a yes way, yes manner, yes and positive manner. Optimistic people always try to think positively, and they always avoid the dark side of the condition. They always come up with the light side or the glittering side of the condition. They are, what I can say, the optimistic in nature. So a good leader, a successful leader must have that optimism within him, so that he become a successful leader in his life. Last but not least, integrity. Many others are there, like must be a smart worker, hard worker. Many other qualities are there. Good decision maker, good analytic skill. I just explaining the important important part to become a successful leader. that is integrity. Every leader must possess that integrity, honesty, kindness within him. It means he always tried to understand the condition and work with just and fair way. Just and fair, justice and fairness. He come up with always a positive and logical in its approach. He always, biased, partial with people, biased with the condition, biased. He always avoids. He always tries to give a logical judgment. Always tries to give an unbiased, logical judgment. So, integrity makes a person to become a successful leader. Integrity, honesty, kindness is highly important in case of every leader if he or she wants to become a successful in the organization, in their life. So for you, I speak this 8 or 9 what I told here. These qualities must be constituted within you from day to day onwards if you want to become a successful person, successful leader, successful manager in any of the organization, or to become a successful entrepreneur too. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you must possess that much of skills and qualities. Thank you very much for being with me. We will next class I will explain various style, various procedure of leadership, which is highly important to understand. Next class onwards I will look up on this. Thank you.